I am David Pickup of Dallas, Texas, and Los Angeles, California. I was the quintessential kid that was set up for homosexuality on several levels. I didn't identify well with my gender in growing up for various reasons. I wasn't close to my father at all. I was defensively detached from him during a phase of my life where I was more attached to my sister or mother and that kind of thing. I was also bullied by my peers because I think I was a very sensitive boy. And so I always felt odd, not boy enough. And then later on through puberty and above that even, not man enough. I was also, what unfortunately is typical of many guys dealing with homosexual issues, I was sexually molested when I was for several times, or at the age of 5. Wasn't violent, but yet it was definitely sexual abuse. So those reasons led up to, in puberty, I began to feel men and boys as an object, that they were an object. And when my sexual hormones kicked in at puberty, I began to feel sexual feelings for boys and later on for men. So I was also the poster boy for repression, growing up in a very faithful, religious, conservative home, which had a lot of good things to it, but it also led to a lot of shame. It went undetected, and a kind of a false self, not hypocritical self, but a kind of false self. I just really wasn't who I was destined to be, in other words. So since I was so repressed, however, I didn't even act out until probably in my late 20s. About 3 years later after that, I saw Dr. Nicolosi, who created reparative therapy, real reparative therapy, and learned that there was hope through therapy for me. And long story short, my journey that took quite a few years actually resulted in the resolution of my gender identity inferiority, raised my level of self-esteem, particularly as a man in my own body. My depression and anxiety, which I had experienced a lot during those adult years, began to lessen and dissipate. And I began also to get a lot of the male emotional needs that I never had, hardly one bit of growing up. And as a result of all that, my same-sex attractions automatically, spontaneously began to, through this therapy, began to lessen and dissipate. And so the reparative therapy really worked for me. It helped save my life.